It's too hard and hurtful, and it's not gentle at all. It's very violent sometimes the way we speak to each other. And one of the obvious things, I'm sure you know this, that people are very critical. We always tend to criticize other people about things which we're probably even more at fault with. In Sri Lanka, the couple which would drive me around, now one of them was saying, "Oh, she's always worried about you and making sure you get there on time." And actually he was the one who was worried about whether I get there on time or not. We always tend to criticize other people about what's actually inside of us. So I notice even like monks who criticize other monks for being lazy, it's the lazy ones. It seems to be, if that's a fault in you, you're very aware of that failing in life, and you see it in other people as well, which is why you criticize those things. But that sort of critical mind is just very, very hard to bear, especially when you see the way that most people talk to each other is mostly criticism, putting each other down, or putting the world down, or putting the soccer team down, or putting the government down, or putting somebody down. It's very, very hard to bear. In my life now as a monk, you do see politicians. Actually, one of the things which I did while I was in Sri Lanka was have breakfast with the president, Mr. Rajapaksa, and it was in his palace. So I went into the president's palace, and I'll let you into a secret. In the president's palace, he serves you baked beans. I always thought that in such sort of high society you always get good baked beans, and it was very delicious baked beans. So baked beans for breakfast served by the president. So I think somebody sort of tipped him off what I like. But anyhow, I always feel a lot of compassion for people in such positions of authority, because they're not just in positions of authority, they're also in positions where they're attacked from all sides, by especially the press and by the public. This is so tough, being a leader, simply because every good thing you do, every kind thing you do, every positive thing you do is always taken for granted, and any mistake which you happen to make, that's the one which is remembered and recalled and publicised in the newspapers. And sometimes you read the newspapers is not a very gentle or kind medium. I know it was true that somebody was actually suggesting, one of the monks I saw in Sri Lanka was wanting to start a Buddhist news channel, and he said, a good news channel, let's just run it as a Buddhist news, on the internet, and make sure it's just the positive things which are happening in society. And I told him that's been tried before. A newspaper once started in the United States, a good news newspaper. They wouldn't put any tragedies or any bad things which happen, except if somebody really cared and helped, like the bushfires down in Dwellingup. The nice things which people did, that's the sort of stuff they put in the newspapers. But of course no one bought them. And the company went bankrupt within a few months. And it's why is it that we like, to hear bad news? Why is it we like to speak badly of other people, criticising them, putting them down? It's obvious. It's because when we criticise someone else, we're putting them down, and that means our ego gets higher.